Hi everyone, Joe Ordia here for Solar Surge, and today I'm coming to you from Qcells Testing Laboratory in Santa Clara, California. And this afternoon I'm joined by Dru Sutton, Vice President and Head of Engineering at Qcells, and we're going to be looking at the new Qcells Qtron AC module. So Dru, thanks for joining us. Good to see you again.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for coming out and visiting our lab with us. We're excited. We just moved in this lab a few months ago, and it's sorry for a little bit of the mess here, but we're excited to be able to have all our products under one roof here for doing testing and evaluation.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate sort of the behind-the-scenes invitation, and that actually is a nice tie-in to kind of what we're talking about, which is getting everything on one roof and on one platform. And I think the AC modules is another example of doing that. So can you tell us, I know it's been a little while since Qcells has released an AC module or a smart module. Why did you feel that there was a need in the marketplace for this product now?
Well, Joe, it's you know, right now in the market here in the U.S., AC modules are quite popular with many installers and homeowners. Given that we're the largest manufacturer of panels, it just kind of made sense that we gave an offering to the market which actually included the microinverter embedded into the module itself.
Great. Well, I know as a former installer, one of the advantages, of course, is just having a faster install. There's less equipment that you have to manage on the roof. You can just sort of plug the modules in one to the other. But for those that are not familiar with the idea of a DC module versus an AC module, can you just kind of give us a high-level description of what is a DC module, what is an AC module, and what are the advantages of an AC module?
Okay. Yeah, great question. So a basic module that comes from a factory such as ours puts out on the back of it DC voltage. So the first early systems that were developed, the DC would come off the roof, you would chain the modules together, and then the voltage would come down into an inverter that's on the side of your house. An AC module is quite different. So it uses the same basic module, but on the back, we mount a small box which converts that DC to AC. So instead of having high voltage DC coming off your roof, the voltage itself coming off the roof is AC, and the plugs in your house all are AC voltages. So I'm sorry. So some of the advantages of that, of course, is all the conversion is done at a single point here. If one of the points were to fail, all the others are going to continue to work, which is nice. A lot of installers just prefer to deal with AC. Traditional electricians in your house wire in AC, so this is just using the same standard, the same voltage as they're used to using.
Right, and of course it's a safer voltage as well, right? I mean, if you're talking about potentially working with 400, 500, 600 volts DC on the roof versus 240 volts AC, it is certainly a much safer voltage to work with. You can typically use off-the-shelf wiring materials just like you would for in-the-home residential wiring. So Dru, you mentioned that an AC module does inversion right here at the solar panel level. What can you tell us about the inverter technology that's embedded within the module here?
We developed an inverter technology ourselves at Qcells, and which is embedded in the back of the module here. An advantage of doing it ourselves is that we also do the design of the module. So we're actually able to optimize the electronics within the microinverter itself to take advantage of some unique functions and features that we have embedded into the module. Okay,
now with Qcells providing its own inverter platform now, can you tell us what is the commissioning process like for installers?
Commissioning, in other words, turning on the system for the first time, is pretty simple. We use the exact same app on our phone that we use on our DC system. So once you get the system up on the roof, you run through a process to turn them on. Communication is established between our monitoring system and the modules on the roof. And then you can proceed to the next step, which would be to install batteries.
So Dru, that kind of leads me to another point, which is, nowadays, right, we're in California, we're under the new NEM 3.0 program. So most homeowners here that are going solar, they're going to go solar with battery storage as well. How does the Qcell AC module tie in with other components of the system, like battery storage or switching, monitoring, these sorts of things?
Yeah, one of the unique things about Qcells is we do it all. So we actually make our own modules, our own microinverters, and we'll be coming out with our own batteries after that. So since we're a single supplier of all these components, the goal is to have a very seamless process by which the installers can install on the roof, commission it, as you mentioned, and more importantly, the homeowners will have an easy-to-use platform by which they can check the status of their module, their inverter, and their batteries in their home. With, you mentioned California and NEM 3.0. That is really driving the adoption of more and more batteries in California. You know, as we talked earlier, almost every system in California being installed has a battery. So the ability to have a single supplier of the module, the inverter, and the battery together with the proper software makes the installation process much easier and much quicker.
Yeah, and you know, this is one of those trends that we're seeing in the industry this year, is this trend towards consolidation or convergence onto having everything on one platform, right? You have a single supplier, a single app, a single place that you go to see what your solar's doing, what your battery's doing, you know, what any other parts of the system are doing. I know one of the things that was very frustrating for me as an installer early on was I had to deal with components from different manufacturers, and I had to make the overall system work. And if the overall system didn't work, then I've got to be on maybe 3 or 4 different tech support calls trying to figure out, you know, who's to blame and what do I need to do to get the overall solution fixed. And of course, all the while, the homeowner has a non-functioning system, and so it's just a very poor user experience. So I do think from a standpoint of streamlining things for the installer and providing a consistent end-to-end solar experience for the homeowner, having everything under one banner just makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Qcells 100% agrees with that, and that's why we are coming up with products that support the whole process, including modules, inverters, batteries, also software to control it at the homeowner and installer level.
Now, Drew, why was Made in USA so important for Qcells for this product line?
Yeah, as you know, Qcells invested a lot of money and energy here in the U.S. This specific module is made in Dalton, Georgia. We have a second facility in Georgia also that was just recently started up. So there's a big focus within Qcells to provide the end-to-end process there. It's actually more economical in some cases to build in the U.S. just because this is where the modules are being sold at. And there's just a real investment not only in the manufacturing side but also on the engineering side to develop products here in the U.S.
So Drew, I know you were actually showing me the monitoring app for your home, because I know you have a Qcells solar system installed at your home. But what are some of the features and capabilities that are available on the app for homeowners that might be using the Qtron AC platform?
Really, it's the same basic features as we have in the current product right now, where the user can, on a single page, see how much solar is coming off the roof, see how full their battery is. You can also see the direction. Perhaps you're getting some amount of power from the roof and it's not enough to support the loads in your house. So it'll show you if it's coming from the battery or the grid. There's a lot of different ways to configure this situation. You could actually install a system without a battery. You can install a system, the AC module with a battery plus a load panel for critical loads. And so when all those different options are there, it'll show you just how the energy flow is within your house.
Cool, and I know that's an important part for a lot of homeowners. In fact, if you're a more technically minded homeowner out there like me, if you're anything like me, you're probably going to spend the first month you have the system just checking in the app from time to time throughout the day, just seeing how the system is working. Is it charging the batteries? Is it discharging? You know, do I have backup to my loads and so forth?
I just want to add, if you're like me, you do that every day, even forever. and I'm going to imagine you will do that too.
Yeah, well, I gotta tell you, I mean, one of the most effective tools for me as a solar sales professional is just pulling up the monitoring software and showing a homeowner who's thinking about going solar, showing them exactly what my system's doing. How much is coming in, how much is going to the house, what's the battery status, how much is getting sold back to the grid. Usually just that simple 10 or 15 seconds of, hey, let me show you what my system is doing, it just makes it that much more real in the eyes of a prospective homeowner. And you know, in many cases, the monitoring app is one of the best solar salesmen out there, is because once you have that system up and running and it's real and it's functioning, it's something you want to show your friends at the next dinner party or something like that. So great, glad that we have that there. So Drew, when will the AC module be available for purchase, and where can installers purchase them?
So, you know, we recently showed this module for the first time in, I believe, October at the SBI, or I'm sorry, RE Plus show. It's changed names. We're currently, just to give you a status where we're right now, we're currently testing it here in the US. We're expecting to be able to make it available for sale before the end of this year. And the good thing about Qcells is you can purchase, anywhere you can purchase Qcells modules, you'll be able to purchase this AC module as well.
Great. Well, folks, again, this has been a little bit of behind-the-scenes access here at the Qcells Testing Laboratory in Santa Clara, California. Again, this is Dru Sutton, Vice President and Head of Engineering for Qcells North America. And by the way, folks, that's why we're here, is to get these videos and to make sure that you stay up to date with the latest industry and product information. So if you haven't already done so, make sure you hit that subscribe button. That way, as we have new videos like this coming out, it'll come up on your home page and on your feed, and that way you can stay up to date with us. Well, Drew, thanks again for chatting with us this afternoon. And folks, that pretty much does it for today's video. As always, I'm Joe Ordia, encouraging you to get prepared and be empowered. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.